Are you ready for rationing like they had in World War II? In this video, I'm going to tell you why you should have a victory garden like they had in World War II, because the possibility of rationing exists. Fertilizer plants, a lot of them are in the Gulf, the Persian Gulf, and with this war going on, our fertilizer supply is significantly messed up for the entire world, so food shortages could easily follow. In this video, we're going to talk about composting, using wood ashes from your garden, or from your wood stove or other fire sources, and just generally how to take your garden and fertilize it without using chemical fertilizer. I was at a fertilizer store today, and they told me that the price was $530 a ton in December, and now it's $919 a ton for nitrogen fertilizer. So that's going to really make it a lot harder for farmers to plant the crops they need to produce the food you normally would buy in the store. But there's a lot of organic and chemical-free gardening tips that don't even depend on those fertilizers. So we're going to talk about that. Our YouTube channel is called Scriptural Homestead and Economics. So I'm going to read a scripture verse here. This is Jeremiah 4, verse 3. For this is what Yahweh said to the men of Yehuda and Jerusalem. Break up your tillable ground and do not sow among thorns. So as we're getting ready to plant this year and you're thinking about it, definitely want people to consider tilling up their ground and planting stuff. But maybe you don't have enough room for a garden outside, so maybe it's just a few potted herbs on your windowsills. Or maybe you got a porch or a deck where you can have some strawberries, cucumbers, tomatoes, or other herbs there. Anyway, here's the potatoes in this bag, and that bag I just got today to plant. They're seed potatoes. Red Pontiac is the variety. Our primary fertilizer for potatoes is going to come from the wood stove here. In the bottom of the wood stove, there's an ash pan. And so we're going to spread some of that ash on the garden where the potatoes are going. And I want you to talk about why potatoes. Potatoes are very productive per square foot. They give a hearty, high-calorie food, and so it's a really good choice for when you might be facing food shortages. So I've spread wood ash over here where I'm about to plant potatoes. I'm going to spread a little bit more. I'm going to leave this plant here. It looks like it might be catnip or maybe something else, but whatever it is, I want to leave it growing because established perennial herbs are pretty valuable. Alright, that's wood ash spread around. It's quite dusty. My videographer is going to want to pause and get out of here. Here's another scripture verse that I think is relevant to this topic. It's Proverbs 13:23. Much food is in the tillable ground of the poor, but the lack of right ruling or justice sweeps it away. I know it's completely off subject, but here's some really beautiful flowers growing in our flower garden, and hope that you like that. Tell me in the comments if you do. I've been digging this area where I spread the ashes for probably about an hour and a half, and just using the hand shovel. I'll do some more on the video here. So I try to do my digging by hand, partly because I got a lot of stumps and stuff like that in my garden still. I just dug this up a little bit ago. There's one less stump in there.
Nice.
But, also because I want my gardening system to be repeatable by people who can't afford a rototiller. I do hope to get a rototiller sometime, and maybe in a year or two or a week or two you'll see that in my videos. But for now, I can dig. and we'll be planting potatoes soon. I do want to talk about fertilizer prices a little bit more. A lot of the world's most important nitrogen fertilizer factories are in the Persian Gulf, and so when they bombed Iran decided to start bombing and attacking those fertilizer factories. So now the world is going to be with a fertilizer shortage for possibly 20 to 30 years, based on the initial damage reports that are still unconfirmed. But what I'm hearing out of the Persian Gulf is that we're going to have big problems until the Hormuz Strait is opened, and then we'll have just supply issues because of the damage to the factories that'll last much longer. And so I definitely recommend gardening in whatever level you're capable, whether it's in your windowsill, on your porch, or going full-fledged like I'm doing and digging up your backyard. And then using fertilizers that are natural, like wild plants, grass clippings, any animal manure you have. I know a lot of people will say not to use human manure or dog or cat manure, but I say compost it for a year and then it should be fine. And then if you have like goat, chicken, rabbit, cow, that can be used even faster.
Yeah, we have rabbits, and we like to, well, we have one right now, and we like to use their manure and put it in like the flower garden, sometimes just the big garden, or both, or whatever.
And I want to talk about the rabbit a little bit, because we had two and one got away, and we haven't caught it in about a week now.
It lives underneath our porch.
And so it might be the rabbit that's eating up our row of broccoli. There, the broccoli's gone, the kale's still there.
It probably is.
I'm going to be working on a fencing video about how I fence my garden, because it needs a bunch of repairs.
Yeah.
To get it back to working again, to keep rabbits out. So I'll be working on that video in the next couple days, and then you'll see it on the end screen. Till then, we'll just have some other random video from something we've done in the past year or so to show you as the end screen. So thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.